Ladies and gentlemen of the four-dimensional frequency, welcome to my channel. I am laughing right now because the coherence of the ability to make videos to begin with, to be able to film it and share it with you guys on social media is such a feat in itself, in the sense that this technology that we've encompassed for what seems like an eternity has always been something new that's been about for a generation past. And when I say a generation, I mean not longer than 4 to 5 years. Truly, has social media been a fad of some sort that started to anchor itself into this reality field of all reality fields of a distortion that has technologically advanced us into this placement within our reality field where we can turn on a filter, turn on our camera, face it to ourselves, get into character, record a video, edit it as we please, and project ourselves into the quantum verse of supercomputers, of the multiplexities of your technological advancement within an essence of a distortion field of a very short period of time. Truly, can I just turn on my filter, turn on my camera, press play, shoot a 10-minute video, and shoot it out there into the universe, onto the earthscape for all of the viewers, all of the listeners who are strategically drawn to this content via algorithm, via other methods of viewing, such as your list of friends, such as the recommendations on your recommended list on Twitter, on Instagram, via Facebook, via the internet. And within the multiplexity of things, it's truly an advancement of human technology that had been unfathomable prior to 10 years ago. And that's all exciting in itself, as the human structure of things, as technologically advanced as I can say that we are today. It hasn't always been that way, and culturally, as we shift into unity, into an essence of coherence, technology will begin to become more and more advanced. That will stitch us together as a community like no other. And even as these algorithms are deciphering and determining the frequency in which whoever most content of preference is to be issued out into the public sphere of coherence, these algorithms in itself have full integrity and control over the AI scheme of things, wherein specific messages tailored to specific assets within society have been structured to become released into these social media platforms of fun, of distortions shed, of reality fields made within the coherence of the elite system of manipulation. That is all it has ever been. And whether or not you've realized it or not, your interest, the interested parties of certain content, will be delivered to them specific content that is in relation to the algorithm. And the energetic frequency of the messages will always be tailored towards these algorithms, whether or not the elites and the societal feeds skew towards distortion fields of non-comprehension and non-understanding, towards the encompassment of the understanding of how controlled and how the control mechanisms within the elite society have always had control over our content, shall never be known to any scope within today's date. and time, as reality fields are non-existent until they become crafted into existence, until there comes a time when a viewer comes along and searches for specific interested content within their reality field, submerged in the essence of the control mechanism that is social media. Can this reality field even exist to begin with? And as you feel like you have full control over your reality field, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that you do not. That is the furthest the furthest from the truth that anyone can ever tell you. That you've been feeling has been so distorted, that the life that you've been living has been so controlled by the elite's agendas on every single coherent way, on every single level of layers of energetic frequencies within the pocket that you sit in within any given moment in time, that distortions shed will become distortions known as we shift into the ascension energies that are incoming. And as you may not understand my terminology and the way I stitch together my language, this video might not make it onto the top of this algorithm into the essence of the popularity contest that is, within the scheme of things, a non-coherence of coherence built by the elites. And that's okay, because eventually my videos will be seen as the darkness rises into a humanity field of non-comprehension and non-understanding. You will search for a meaning in all of this. You'll search for a meaning through social media. You'll search for a meaning through conversations with your friends and family. You'll search for a meaning throughout all of the meanings that you can ever comprehend to be true and to be real. And at the end of the day, at the end of a long, distorted reality field, you will find your meaning. And that meaning, ladies and gentlemen, will be found through the content that you ingest. So I urge you to have discernment when you open up a video on social media, tap on an article in the news, tranquilize the essence of a conversation in person. I urge you to open up your perception field to the possibility that none of these perception fields are a reality field of the truth, as the truth has been hidden in plain sight, but in places that you can never coincide to comprehend, to proceed to understand to be true. And as my words might be a bit distorted in this moment in time, it reflects the distortion field in which you sit in. And as you can only sit in your field of comprehension, your field of understanding based on the coherence of the vibrational frequency within your existence field, ladies and gentlemen, that adds another layer of complexity within the existence field of our distortion field of the three-dimensional frequency within Gaia's core and upon Gaia's surface. And as I sit here and ramble on about the complexity of things, about the neutrality of things that is about to anchor into our societal field, you will come into a realization that perhaps all of the content that you've been ingesting has just been a distortion field of the opposite of the media spectrum of what and who and how they want you to behave, to distort yourself into the reality field, their reality field of choosing. You may come into a non-comprehension of the meaning within all of this, but at the end of the day, as you open up your eyes in broad daylight, in broad spectrum of multiplexities of multitudes of the frequencies that we sit in, you will come into an understanding for once and for final of the meaning of all of this as we anchor in the ascension energies that is within tomorrow's past, present, and future projections within Gaia's frequency that you sit in, which is the exciting part. more answers to come as you fractal out into your perception field of non-normalcy within this moment in time, within the media and the perception that you perceive on social media.